Hey everybody, this is Deshay Peacock with Sweet Spot Style, and I was just trying to do a webinar, and the webinar software that I was about to tell you guys all about somehow isn't working, or else it's my computer, or it's my WordPress site, or it's a plugin, but somehow it's not working. So is it not just perfect that it's not working? So what I just did was I sent a link to my helpers, and I'm hoping that you guys will put it in for me in this chat so that you guys can find me here, because I just started a whole new thing. So I'm just going to put it in here and tell you guys what to do. Let's see here if anybody is going to help. It says live stream's over. How are you doing? It's working. See you again. I see you just said you don't think it's working. Oh my God, is it that slow? Is it that slow of a delay? Wow. Well, anyway, I'm going to let you guys know what's happening. Oh, all right, somebody's here. Okay, awesome. 2 people are here. It looks like somebody put in the link because I'm seeing viewers. So you know what we're going to have to do? This is really awkward, but I actually can still see your chat from the webinar, the other webinar. So if you want to ask me a question, you can put it in there. And because this is so awkward, you know, you can always just send me an email afterwards at deshay@sweetspotstyle.com, and we will figure this out. So I see we have 6 viewers. Yay, so good. While we're here, I'm going to just go ahead and refresh my screen so I can see if there's any new chat stuff going on here. And then I'll kind of explain what's going on. You guys are so awesome for hanging in there with me. I wish that this wasn't so bad, but it is. So yeah, I guess somehow you guys are here because I don't see the link in the chat, but I guess somehow you're here, which is awesome. Oh yeah, maybe somebody did put it in there. Okay, great. So we are going to get started. Again, I apologize. This is really embarrassing, but this is sort of like what happens because you're here to learn about webinars, and you're getting a little taste of what I've experienced for the past 2 years trying to figure this out. And maybe I just got really lucky last year, or not last year, but on New Year's Day when I did my 10K webinar, which is what we're supposed to be talking about, not these tech problems. Maybe I just got really lucky that day and I didn't have any tech problems, because I almost always do have something wrong. I think that I know what happened maybe with this last one is that maybe there was such a delay because there's more people coming on than normal. I know I have at least 100 people signing on. That maybe it, I don't know, did it crash my my website? Because when I went to my website, it basically was like there's an error, and I couldn't even get within my website. Webinar Alley is a software that I use, and it's connected to my website and to WordPress, and I couldn't even get into WordPress to try it again. So it looks like maybe there was a delay and you guys saw it afterwards, and maybe I gave up too soon. I'll try to figure it out and explain it later. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I see that there's some people here. So I'm gonna try to screen share now. So here we go. I'm going to go on to screen share, and don't worry, it's going to look funny for a minute. And I'm going to go to the presentation. Here we go. All right. So it says I'm screen sharing. So now I'm going to go over here and try to find my presentation. That's not my presentation. Everything's messed up now because I had to try to figure all this out and opened up all these new tabs. But there it is. So hopefully you guys can see this. Stacia or Anya's or anybody else who may be watching this, if you can see and hear me, will you just please send me a note on Facebook or a message or something, and let me know if you can see the screen that says my 10K webinar. I'm going to go here and check. We're good, baby. Thank you so much, Stacia. All right, let's start again. Welcome to my 10K webinar. It was a miracle that I did that, considering I'm really bad with technology, apparently. Anyway, I'm Deshay. You say it like this, Deshay. And I'm an author, a biz and lifestyle design coach, and a retreat leader. And my brand is called Sweet Spot Style, so I just thought I would explain what the sweet spot is. So it's about consciously creating a life, business, or home that reflects your essence, your values, your dreams, and who you aspire to be. So today we're going to focus on my 10K webinar, which was really 12K because someone else signed up and made it 12K. I just realized I don't have my headphones. Oh my God, now my dog's barking. This is a disaster. Take a deep breath, thank you. All right, so hopefully you can't hear my dog, who's now absolutely going crazy. I apologize. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't hear. Just a second, I'm gonna let my dog out. This is nuts. What else is going to go wrong? This is perfect. This is a perfect example of everything that can possibly go wrong on a webinar, and how you just keep going anyway and hope that people forgive you. Deep breath. Okay. So, all right. So what I wanted to share with you guys was that I had this small list of people, 650 people or less, a small budget, $50. I didn't have a sales page. I was trying to make it as simple as possible because obviously technology is a problem. And, you know, with all of that, it still surprisingly worked and allowed me to generate $12,000 worth of income and within about 24 hours. So it really was pretty much the easiest thing I've ever done for that kind of return on investment. So ironically, I was teaching how to manifest with ease. And, you know, in the email that I'm going to send you guys after this, I will definitely send you a link if you haven't seen that. That's the webinar that you know, ended up helping me to generate that $12,000 in sales. So in this webinar, you're going to learn how to create a beautifully branded webinar in the easiest way possible. Excuse me. Maximize your reach on Facebook without spending thousands of dollars on ads, and generate sales with ease without a sales page. You'll also learn how to make the maximum impact with the least amount of effort. And so this is strange because I'm not sure what happened, and now we're on Google Hangout Live. So I was going to recommend that you try Webinar Alley, and it has worked for me. It definitely worked for me, and it was the easiest thing I've done. So I'll try to figure that out, but I still recommend that you take a look at it. It's only $27, and it allows you to create a branded webinar so that you can basically embed your webinar into your website. And also how to use Google Slides. So Google Slides are free. So this presentation is actually in Google Slides. So with Webinar Alley, let me just describe what that is. So the way it's supposed to work is that you embed the webinar into your website utilizing Google Hangout. And then you take some code, and it's pretty easy, and you embed Chatwing. Right? So that's what you do. So it's usually pretty easy to learn and pretty easy to use. At least it was last time. It also comes with the automatic replay, and like I said, it's only $27. So I'm just going to stop for a second here, and I'm going to kind of depend on you, Stacia, to send me little messages because I have you here. I see that you're talking to me on Facebook, and because my stuff is all gunky, send me questions. If people are asking questions on the chat, send them to me over here on the messenger, and I'll try to address those. And again, I'll go back through the chat, and definitely, if you want to leave your email, I will contact you and try to answer any of your questions. But Stacia, where I'm looking at is I'm just looking at your messages here on Facebook. All right, so I'd love to know if you guys are new with webinars, if you've made a fortune with webinars, if you've ever done them before, if you've had problems yourself. Feel free to share in the first chat, you know, what's happening there. Oh, thank you, Stacia. You'll deliver messages. You're doing great, Sarah. Thank you, guys. Oh my God, this is probably like the worst one I've ever done. I'm so sorry, but we're gonna, you know what? This is what you have to do. You just have to take a deep breath. You have to get over the dog trying to bark the way through the window, and you just keep going, right? Okay. So a lot of people had questions about how I did that last webinar, and people were asking about how you opt in, right? So there's different ways of doing that. So a lot of people use lead pages, and I'm not sure how much that is. I think it's a couple of $100, maybe a couple of $100 every year, or maybe just once. I don't know. I didn't ever buy it. You can also use Instapage, which Stacia from Thrift Me Pretty, who's monitoring this chat, she also has used that, and I think it's worked for her. I think it was really hard the first time, but then you got the hang of it, right, Stacia? You can also just make a link using your email provider, which is free. Excuse me. So I use MailChimp. And within MailChimp, you just can make a form. You know, if you are collecting emails, you know how to do this already. And then you just get a link through the email. And I think what you could probably do is, well, of course, you can just embed that form on your site. Or you can also put it on your Facebook business page, because now there's a new option to sign up. There's a little button in your business page that says sign up, and you can put the link in there. But the way I did it was, I have done it the way I just described, just on my website. But the last time that I did it, I actually asked my web designer to make a template for me using the Debbie theme, or Divi theme, I'm not sure you say that. And so if you have the Debbie theme in WordPress, there is an option for you to go in yourself and customize an opt-in form. And then every time you do a webinar, all you have to really do is use that template, and you just change out your picture and change out your text. So that really was very inexpensive for me to have her do that. My lady is great and just very, very reasonable. So it took her probably an hour. So, you know, it wasn't very much at all. It was, I don't want to say how much she charges because I don't know. Well, I guess I'll just tell you, you know, it's like $25 basically for her to develop that template. So maybe you can find somebody out there who can develop a template for you to do that. Okay, I have a message here from Sarah. Can't post links in YouTube chat. Tell them you'll email them details of what you'll use. Thank you, Sarah. I will tell them. I will. I've already written the email, and I already have some links in there. So everybody who has signed up for this webinar will get those links. Okay, so I just wanted to show you an example of what that template looks like. So basically, there's an option for you to put in a picture. So right there you see, you know, there's a picture of me with my graphic. That's all one picture. And I made that on Canva. I also use PicMonkey. That's where I make my graphics, those two places. And then on the side, you can see there's my little sales pitch for signing up for the webinar. So it says, you know, ready to upgrade your lifestyle and manifest with ease. In 2015, the word of the year for me was ease. And so I go on to explain what the webinar is about, and then I give a few little bullet points explaining exactly what I'm going to teach, and then they sign up. Okay, so that's the opt-in. Okay, so somebody asked me, what if I don't have a website? Well, this is a little bit tricky for me, so I was trying to figure it out. If maybe somebody has a better answer, but basically you can still do a webinar on Google Hangout. Like I'm just doing it on Google Hangout right now without my website. I should have my website with my chat, but since that, you know, crashed, you can just do a Google Hangout, and you can create an opt-in using your MailChimp connected to Facebook or some other landing page, or even a free blog. So somebody was telling me, and I know this happens a lot, that you are rebranding or you're starting a new business and you don't even really have a website yet, but you want to start, building your email list through webinars, and you want to start selling through webinars. So what you can do is just get a free blog spot and on WordPress. It's free, and you can embed your Google Hangout, or through Webinar Alley, you can embed it right there, and you can embed a chat. So that's what I would recommend you do if you don't have a website. Just open a Blogspot or WordPress. Well, I guess with Webinar Alley, you really do need to use WordPress. Okay, so how to sell without a sales page. So a lot of people ask me about that because I did not have a sales page. Now, I have created many sales pages, and it takes a lot of time to create one. And I've done webinars where I spent hours creating a sales page and nobody bought anything. And then it's like, oh God, that was kind of a waste of time, right? So with this one, I just decided to make it super easy. I had no expectations, honestly. And I just was like, it's really time to do a webinar, and I wanted to share some things that had happened to me over 2015. It was really just about like, let me just share this information, and the offer kind of came second. It was sort of a last minute thing that I thought of almost the night before when I was doing this presentation, putting together the presentation. And I just made a slide and I pitched within the webinar, and then I followed up with an email, exactly what I'm going to do today. So hang in there. Hang in there with me if you're still here with me to the end, and you'll actually see that process once again. Okay, so do you want to see my offer from last time? All right, so this is what I had in my last presentation. This was my offer, and it's a good offer. And so let me just kind of go through it with you so you see why it's a good offer. So my normal rates, I'm a coach, right? So my normal rates for 3 months of coaching is $1,550, or if you do a payment plan, it's $599, which is more. I charge more when people pay by the month because it's just more expenses for me. It's more time for me billing and keeping up, blah, blah. So basically, I'm giving them a discount for paying ahead of time. So with this, I decided to do a January special, 6 months at $1,800 or $350 a month, and I only was taking 5 clients. So if you do the math there, basically if they pay $350 a month, that's $2,100. So it averaged out that, very quickly. While somebody was on the webinar, someone said, yes, I want this one spot. And then as soon as the webinar was over, somebody else signed up, and somebody else, and somebody else, until quickly within like 24 hours, 5 people had signed up. So, some of them signed up for $1,800. Most of them signed up for $2,100, paying $350 a month, which equals, a little over $10,000. And then shortly after that, maybe the next day, another client signed up who I had spoken to the week before, and she couldn't make the webinar. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and give you this one last, I'll make it 6 people instead of 5 because, I'd already given her a free session the week before, and she just couldn't make the webinar, and I'm easy like that sometimes. I'm a little bit of a pushover sometimes. And so I said, okay, let's make it 6, which, ended up being $12,000 for me, which not a bad deal, right? Not a bad deal, because basically if you work with clients like I do, and I'd love to know if you guys, how many of you are working one-on-one with clients. It takes a lot of time to find your ideal clients. And it takes a lot of, blog posts and interviews and reaching out just to find that one perfect client that is really going to love you, that you can benefit. So to get 6 within, a day or 2, it saves me so much time and effort and money that it's just a great deal for me at that price. And of course, it's a great deal for them at that price. So it's really, that was a win-win situation for me and for them. And so that's the kind of offer that I'm talking about. It's not just about, it's not like, oh yeah, tell me how to make money on webinars. It's more than that. It's like, what are you offering? What's your product? And then the webinar is just a tool. There's a lot of different kinds of tools. This is just one of them. All right, so can I make big money without a website, without a sales page, without a following, without spending money? Well, anything is possible, but I would say try to have as many of those things in place as you can. I've studied how to do webinars, and basically, you know, the people who are making a lot of money through webinars, they have a big, beautiful branded website. They do use sales page. They do have a following, and they do spend a lot of money on ads. But we know that it's possible that I just did it and made almost, you know, 12,000 without having a lot of that. Now, of course, I do have I consider my website pretty. I do have a branded website. I didn't have a sales page. I do have a following, and I didn't spend a lot of money. But I think that, you know, you can mix and match those features a little bit. Like maybe you know, don't have a branded website, but you spend a lot of money on a Facebook ad, and you can still get the same result. So there's really no, you know, how you hear that like, follow my formula and it's going to work for you. I don't really think so. I've tried a lot of people's formulas, and some stuff works and some stuff doesn't, and some things work at one time and it doesn't work the next time. So you kind of have to play with it and figure out what's going to work for you, where you're at right now, and keep going. The main thing is just don't stop. But I want to be completely transparent here because, you know, I'd see stories like that of like, oh, within the first 6 months of my business, I made $100,000 using webinars and Facebook ads. Maybe you've seen that too, which is awesome. But when I tried that, and when I think most people try that, if that doesn't happen for you, then you tend to think, oh, well, something's wrong here. I either have the wrong business model, or I'm not good at this, or I can't figure out who my ICA is. And maybe that's all true, but mostly it's probably that you haven't been doing it long enough, that you need to keep doing it for a while. You know, this isn't my first webinar. This is probably my, I don't know, 6th or 7th webinar. Actually, I said maybe I did 10 before this. So that's my first point. You know, I've done a few of these. And so I've kind of figured it out to a certain degree. And hopefully I'll get a lot better as I keep going. But, you know, what if I would have given up before this last one? Then I probably wouldn't be doing this one. I probably wouldn't continue to do them. And that's how, you know, that's how I plan to continue to attract my clients and share what I've learned. So that's one thing. And then 2, just being visible online and what that means. And so I have been working the social media thing. You know, I have been visible online. I have a Facebook page. It's small, you know, it just reached 2,000, which, you know, in the grand scheme of online marketing world is small, but it's 2,000 people more than, you know, I had 2 years ago, right? I'm on Instagram. I have almost 2,000 followers there, and I've spent time building both of those followings, right? I also post in Facebook groups, and I post on my personal page. I have built my personal page friends a lot because that's really important. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more. But so what else? I've written a book. I've been at speaking gigs. I do lots of live events. I connect with people there. They follow me on social media, and then they get on my newsletter. So that's some of the things that I've done to get to the point why I think it's been easier for me to attract the clients that I have. So, you know, did the webinar, like, could I have gotten those clients without the webinar? Yeah, I probably could have, you know, but I don't think I would have got them all at once that fast and that easily. Like I said, it would be doing a whole bunch of other stuff, like going to a speaking gig and driving somewhere and maybe getting one client, or, you know, doing clarity calls and getting one at a time. And then, so I think the thing that's good with, you know, doing the webinar is that you can grow fast, and it also grows your email list. One more point about that, you know, one other good reason to continue doing webinars, even if you're not making money in the first few ones, is that people will start to know, like, and trust you. So, like, some people will watch this today and they'll be like, this girl didn't know what the hell she's doing. She just messed up this webinar and I'm done with her. And it's like, oh shoot, well, I lost that one. But other people will watch this and be like, oh my gosh, she figured out how to go into Google Hangout Live and get her friend to send the link, and she's still going, and like, that shows tenacity. So I want to follow her. I want to know how to do this, and I bet that next time her webinar will be okay. So that's the benefit of doing more than one, is that basically people get to know you really well. They get to know your personality, and over time, if they see that you're consistent and that you keep doing it and sharing good information, maybe they'll want to hire you, or maybe they'll want to hang out with you, or maybe they'll want to collaborate with you, but definitely something good will happen. Okay, so let's stop a minute. Are you worried that you can't do it now because you haven't done what I did before? Are you worried that, oh, look, Deshae just said she wrote a book and did live events and I haven't done that, so this isn't going to work for me? Or, oh, Deshae just said she spent 2 years doing this and I haven't done that, so this isn't going to work for me. Don't do that to yourself. Some people just hit it big online fast, and some others, most people, it just takes time. So, you know, it's great to hear all these inspirational stories of people kicking it big time online, people making money online. But we just don't normally hear about all the other people who have all kinds of different circumstances. It may have been that they've been working in a business for 10 years and then they get online and behind the scenes, they're pouring money into it. Maybe they made $10,000. Maybe they made $100,000, but they spent $200,000 to get there. So you just don't know. All right. So what's been the winning combination for me? Basically, you know, if you look to the left, over time, you know, dedicating time to being visible online, consistent brand messaging, consistent colors, consistent core values, consistent pitching of, you know, your message basically, and persistence, you know, just continuing to keep going even when things go wrong, even when they don't go the way you want, even when maybe you're not even making money. And of course, at some point you have to shift if it's been too long, but, you know, basically be persistent, try your best. And I think that those 3 things have helped me to do well with my last webinar. And then what happened this last time was basically, you know, I just explained it was a no-brainer offer. It was a great offer. It was good timing. It was New Year's Day, and I'm a life coach, so people are thinking about how they want to improve their lives in 2016. They're thinking about how they need help, but, you know, they have a dream and they want to take it to reality and they just need help. So that was just good timing. And then, you know, the other one is just like, I don't know, was it my mindset? Did I, you know, some of the meditations that I do on ease, did that help? You know, what is it, the 2016 energy that's supposed to be really great for, you know, manifesting your dreams this year? And Mercury was not in retrograde like it is now, so who knows? But those are the things that I'm thinking have helped me to do well, at least with my last webinar. Okay, so I just want to stop here and talk a little bit more about visibility. So look at this post. So I did the webinar on January 1st, New Year's Day, and the very next day on January, well, not even the next, yeah, I guess like that same day, but midnight basically, on January 2nd, in the middle of the night for me, I was so excited and I wanted to tell somebody. My husband was asleep. And so I just went online and I wrote this little note in the Freedom Hackers group. Are you guys in Freedom Hackers? Any Freedom Hacker people here? Send me a note. I love you guys. You guys have been great. I posted this little note in Kimra Luna's Freedom Hacker group, and you can read it right there. And I just explained what happened. And you can see, like, at first, you know, I made 6,000 and then 8,000, then 10,000 and then 12,000. That all happened so real fast. I was sort of giving updates. And what happened was it started getting attention. And so if you look down at the bottom, you'll see like 731 people liked that post. And there was probably 100 comments. And I didn't just read the comments. I went in and I said, thank you. And I answered questions. And maybe you're some of those people on here today that saw that post. So what if I wouldn't have posted that? Then you wouldn't be here. So that's what I'm talking about with being visible. It's not just one thing. You keep going. You keep on and you just be engaged. You share your wins. You share your struggles. And you help people. And that's how you get 731 likes and you get people to sign up for your webinars. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, well, what about that $50 budget, Deshae? You said you only spent $50, so you want to know about that. Well, so I have tried to learn Facebook advertising, you guys. Like, I have taken the courses, I've tried to figure it out, and I've dabbled with it a lot. I've even done some of the, you know, pixel creation and tracking and split testing and all that stuff. And it just wasn't giving me the results that I had hoped. And partially because I'm just not that interested. Like, I don't want to be a Facebook advertising guru. I'm a life coach. I'm an author and retreat leader. And there's so many things you have to learn to be an online, marketing guru. And that's just not one of the things that I want to spend my time and effort doing because I don't enjoy it. So I did as much as I could for myself, and it wasn't working. And then I noticed if I just simply boosted a post, that way that people say never to do, like all the Facebook experts say don't do it. I did it, and it worked for me. And so I boosted the post for $50. I'll show you that post in a second. And I asked people to share it. And anyone who shared that post with the link to sign up for my webinar got an incentive. They got 20 minutes free with me. They got to talk to me about how they could create ease in their life for 2016. And that's valuable to people because I charge quite a bit, a lot more than free, for an hour or so. So 20 minutes with me is a good deal for free. So that was their incentive, and people did share it. They shared it quite a bit, and that saved me money. So here's the post. Here is my Facebook boosted post. So as you can see, it's cut off because I took a screenshot. If you want to see the whole thing, go on Sweet Spot Style Your Biz Facebook page, and you can scroll down and you can see this. You can see the whole post, and you can see the text and everything. But it's the same graphic that I created for the opt-in. It shows up when you share it from your page. And I had some text up above that had the same 4 points that I talked about. And I did change it every once in a while when I shared it. But for the boosted post, once you boost it, you can't change the text. So you can see here down below where it says 998 people reached. The lighter part is organic. So that was probably about 1,500 people reached that were organic. That's because I was sharing that post into groups. And the rest of it was probably around 3,500 people or more, and that was paid. And then you can see down under that, you can see that 76 people liked the post, which is pretty good for my Facebook page, and 24 shares. And so I shared 12 times. I was sharing all the time in groups. You have to be careful not to share in groups where they say they don't want you to promote, but a lot of groups will let you promote. So that's what I was doing, and that's how I got my people. So I only got, I think at first I had, well, in the very beginning, I only had 10 people sign up for this webinar, and I was like, oh, what a disaster. But it grew. It slowly grew. It took me about a week, and I think I ended up with 55 people, which is, it's not that many for a webinar. I have 100 and something people signed up for this one, which is it's good. My very first webinar, I think I had 124 people, and it's gone down to as low as, I think my smallest webinar was 27 people. But my coach reminded me, Sarah Leather, who's on here, reminded me that it doesn't really matter the numbers. What matters is, if you're reaching the right people. And if you're given the right message, because you can sign up, if you're doing one-on-one coaching, you sign up one person, 2 people or more, and it's totally, it's totally worth it. So I'm not hearing from anybody here. Sarah and Stacia, give me a little note and let me know that everything's still going well. All right, so that's my Facebook ad. That was my budget, and totally worth it. All right, here we go. So that was a lot of information. And I'm sure you have questions. If you have questions, what I'm probably going to do is do this again and do it the right way on Webinar Alley. But for now, let me just ask you if you need one-on-one support. If you're hearing what I'm saying, you're like, I want to know more about that, but you want me to talk to you on Skype and walk you through one element or more of what I was just describing, then let me know. So would you like to hear about my sweet Make Your Beautiful Webinar Power Session? I'm just going to assume that you're saying yes. So here it is. So this is a power session that includes 90 minutes of one-on-one support so that you can decide on your topic that's right for you. I'll show you how to make pretty slides like I made here. We can brainstorm your offer, really important. I can help you write the copy for your Facebook if you need some help designing a post. I can help you do that. Whatever you want within that 90 minutes, whatever is your biggest challenge. We can practice the text setup once you've installed Webinar Alley. If you go that route, I can help you practice that. I'm going to help Sarah Leather my coach practice hers next week. And I've practiced this before and it worked great. So sometimes you just have to just know what to do. Like, what do you do if your website crashes? I can help you with that. So I can help you do everything you need to do to get your webinar set up. And I think probably most important is, you know, I'm not sure what your biggest problems are, but I'm imagining that, you know, you're coming here because you're hoping that webinars, that's going to be your ticket to make, you know, good money. And what I would say is, you know, what's even more important is what's your offer? What's your offer? And then, you know, secondary is the tool that you use to get your offer out there. But what's your offer? And is it in your sweet spot? Is that offer going to make you feel good? Is it going to light you up? Is it going to attract your customer? Is it going to get the people you want? Is it the work that you want to do? And are you happy with the money that you're making? And I can say that I definitely am. And I'd love to help you with that. So as I told you, I'm modeling what I'm teaching here. And again, I did not make a sales page. I don't know if you guys are interested in this or not. I think that you are. And so I'm going to give you this deal, and I'm going to do it just the way I did before. So I'm going to send you these links in an email. But if you want this, you can also just, you know, write to me at Shay@sweetspotstyle.com. Ask me your questions as well, or on Facebook. And yeah, I'm going to take a few people. I can only really take 2 people right now because I'm loaded. My client base is loaded right now because I just loaded up on clients, and I had clients before. So my time is pretty limited, but I want to be helpful. So if you need help right away, be the first 2 people to sign up, and you can book soon, like very soon, this week or next week. But then I'm going to Mexico, and I'm going to be gone for a month. Or close to a month, and while I'm there, I'm going to be leading a retreat, and I'm going to be writing my next book. So I'm not going to be working with clients very much at all. So you'll have to wait until I get back. So anybody who wants to sign up, the first 2 people can get in with me now. After that, you're going to have to wait till March. So, and also, you get a big, gigantic bonus, which is my Sweet Spot Style Your Biz e-course, which is a 6-week e-course that helps you get clear on what you want to do. It teaches you about intention. It teaches you how to take inspired action, how to release negative beliefs so that you can move forward. It teaches you about, you know, how gratitude brings abundance, and it gives you lots of exercises just to make sure that you are, you know, creating the life and the business that you really want to do, and how to tap into the higher powers to help you move faster through that process. That's what that e-course is about, and that e-course is valued at $275. And my power hour, the 90-minute session, is valued at $275. I didn't have room to write all this, but plus you'll get a week of email support from me. Okay, so you get all of that, which would value at least $550 would be yours for $275. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. Okay, so if you're like, well, that's awesome, but you know, I am interested in this thing. I want to know how many, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Stacia sent me a question. That's the problem with chat. If you're thinking, you know, I need more. I'm interested, I'm curious about creating a life and a business that lights me up. I'm interested in more than just webinars. If you want to learn more and you want to spend some time with me and some other really cool women that are doing awesome stuff and they're upgrading their lifestyle and their business, you might be interested in Mexico. So I'm leaving in a couple of weeks. This retreat starts January 31st. I have one more spot. It's a luxury retreat. We can spend quite a bit of time. We're staying in a mansion together. We're going to be, you know, sleeping in the same house. So, you know, I'm happy to share everything I know about webinars and business and all of that stuff and more. So let's see here if we can see this little video. And I'm going to read, Stacia, send me the questions, and I'll try to look at them as you guys are watching this video. This is just a short 1-minute video.
First thing she helped me with before the workshop
twice with me. Years of fun in life. Relaxing, very relaxing experience. We did our workshops there. We got to talk and just sit around and talk. No distractions. I guess that would have been my favorite. Helping each one of us to pursue what our dream is. It's been great. I would definitely come back to another one of the retreats. Okay, thanks for watching that. So, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to go deeper, to think about your 2016. And I highly encourage you, if your heart's pounding, if you're like, that's for me, contact me right away. Because I do have several people who are on the fence who are trying to decide if they want to come. But whoever says yes first and sends me the payment, they're in. So if that's you, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it together. It's going to be awesome. All right, do I have any more slides here? Questions. So if you have any questions, I don't know how you guys are finding these questions. If you're finding them on chat, let me know. Oh yeah, we do have some questions. I'm gonna go over here and get this off the slides and see if I can do screen share here. And I'll answer some questions. Just one second. Hello. Okay, so I have some questions here and I'm going to answer them. All right, so how many people showed up for your webinar with the sales? Okay, well, that is a great question. Thank you for asking that question. So I am not sure, because with Webinar Alley, you don't really know exactly how many people are showing up live, except for what you see, like on YouTube. I can see that there's like 11 viewers right now, which I'm not surprised because of the tech problems we had. But I think that before, I also could tell in the chat, so there were like 10 people in the chat. So that's pretty typical for me. If I had 50 people sign up for the webinar, and then I had like 10 people show up live, and then people watch the replay, and sometimes I'll share the replay with my newsletter because they're already on my list. So I don't, I'll give them that replay for, without having to sign up again. That doesn't make sense, right? So, I want to say that there's been around 400 views of that webinar now. And it's not something that I go and share in groups or anything after it's done. It's just people sharing it within our own little group and on my email list. So yeah, does that answer your question? There's about 10 people live on the one that I had the 5 sales. Let's see what else. That was a question from the group. Okay, got it. So are there any more questions, Stacia? Let me know. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can tell you guys while I wait to see if there's any questions. I guess just to reiterate that, sometimes there are delays with webinars. So like right now, I asked if there's any questions. You kind of have to wait around and fill in the space a little bit to see if there are any questions before you just end, because of the delay. So Stacia says she's not seeing any. Okay, well, that wasn't too much of a delay. I got that message pretty fast. So, all right, it is almost 1 o'clock, so we ended on time here despite these problems. And I want to really thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you got some value out of this webinar. And I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you if you want to talk about your business and how to grow your business online, your personal brand. If you're thinking about doing webinars, I know that you just saw me go through something crazy, but it's okay. We're still going to make it. We're going to be okay. I'm going to keep doing these. I think that they work. So anyway, thank you so much. And I hope that you have a great day, and I hope you keep living in your sweet spot. All right. Bye, you guys.